the Senate passed a bill yesterday, and this is going to go to the House, so it's not official yet, but they passed a bill unanimously establishing Juneteenth as a national holiday. And I think we have some of the footage of this potentially historic moment. Let's watch some of this.
Mr. President, I ask consent the Senate proceed to the consideration of S-Res 269 submitted earlier today.
The clerk will report.
Senate Resolution 269 designating June 19, 2021 as Juneteenth Independence Day in recognition of June 19, 1865, the date on which news of the end of slavery reached the slaves in the southwestern states.
Without objection, the Senate will proceed to the measure.
I ask unanimous consent the resolution
Well, I
be
don't
agreed
know. Okay.
to the preamble.
Why
be
exactly am I
agreed to
playing
with
this?
the
I don't know.
motions to reconsider.
I don't know why I'm asking you that question. I should have an answer to that. Really, I'll tell you why. Because this is the end of racism. This is the Senate curing racism finally, and I feel like that's historic. It's also historic because all of these people who just found out what Juneteenth was like last year, now they just found out last year. Much of the country just found out last year what it is, and now it is a deeply important holiday to them that should be celebrated not only in America, but across the planet, and indeed probably across the entire solar system. Here's what just two quick things about this. First of all, in looking at it objectively, in a vacuum, having a holiday to celebrate the abolition of slavery makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. I can see that. But I have a problem, and as you know, I've been saying this for years. I am opposed, in principle, to anything that is done to appease or impress a mob. Okay, anything that is done with fraudulent intentions to appease or impress a mob, and that includes tearing down statues. It includes declaring holidays. It includes anything. If there is something worth doing, you do it because it's worth doing. You don't do it all in a mad rush because you're trying to impress the mob or you're afraid of them or whatever. And that's, of course, what's happening here. It's not a coincidence that we had the riots and we have all of this and BLM. And now they're saying, oh, you know what? Let's make Juneteenth a national holiday. It's the same thing I said with the statues. I think a lot of the statues that were torn down were not deserving of that at all, and should have remained based on their own merits. There may have been a few statues that you could make a reasonable argument for taking them down, but even with those statues, I said all along I oppose tearing them down now under these conditions, all in one mad dash. If it was not for that, if it wasn't for the mass hysteria and a community just on their own got together and said, hey, we don't really want this statue, let's take it down, fine. But under the circumstances, that's where I think it becomes a problem. Also, I also have another problem. If you, as the Democrats do in the Senate, if you hate America and don't think that America itself is worth celebrating, and in fact, you don't even think anymore that it's worth standing for the national anthem, and you also think, as they would tell us and have said, that racism today is worse than it's ever been, it's all been downhill, then I don't know if you're necessarily equipped to come up with new national holidays. I mean, I guess that's the deal maybe we should make. It's like, okay, you want to make Juneteenth a national holiday, abolition of slavery, makes sense. So are you saying now that we can celebrate America and is that what you're saying? We can be proud of Americans. Everyone should stand for the anthem. July 4th comes along, we should celebrate that and be happy and proud. Putting all the apologies aside, we're moving past that. Is that what you're saying? I think you really got to pick a lane, it would seem to me. Well, I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Matt Walsh Show. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right down there so you can stay up to date on all of our future content.